This is the pictorial autobiography of Maggie Bowler. Hi, my name is Maggie Samantha K. Bowler. I'm 28 years old and I live in Houston, Texas. I'm commonly described, I guess, as an introverted extrovert. I'm an introvert in that, I like to go to coffee shops and read books and very free thinking and pretty deeply introspective about just like myself and am I furthering the greater good, quite honestly. Um, but I can be, again, very extroverted in that, I like to interact with other people. I like to talk a lot. I can be rather spontaneous and thrill seeking at times. I just really find it easy to make connections with people on even the most random of just like topics. I am African American. I'm a sixth grade English teacher. I'm very, very passionate about working with the urban population that I do work with. Um, Even though it seems like everyone is leaving that profession. I'm very, very close to my family. I love anything on just like Pinterest, whether it's crafts or decorating or event planning, anything with glitter, I'm all about it. I'm also a runner, and I'm planning to run the Disney Princess Half Marathon in February of next year. So I got a lot of work to do. Meet my family. I'm the baby of the family. I have an older brother named Tony. He's 32 and he has an affinity for fast cars, rock music, travel, pretty much like, anything that has some sort of risk involved with it, he's down for the cause. He's in a band. He plays the bass guitar, and we couldn't be any more opposite of each other, quite honestly. My parents are high school sweethearts. They've been married for 40 years. My dad, Merle, is recently retired, and he enjoys flying gas-powered RC planes and just really trying to fix anything that he can get his hands on, from electric scooters to home improvement, just projects and everything in between. My mom, Carlisa, is a currently practicing nurse practitioner. She works in women's health, but she's just a few steps away from joining my dad at the house. She enjoys quilting. She collects a lot of fabric, and at least it looks nice upstairs. Crocheting and shopping at TJ Maxx. I have two dogs that are my whole world. Yes, I'm one of those people. I have a 7-year-old pit bull mix. Her name is Monroe, and she is just as sassy as she is sweet. She was born completely deaf, so I communicate with her through hand signs. She enjoys smiling, chasing shadows, playing with children, and of course, trying to steal snacks off the table if she can get her hands on them. I have also a 3-year-old Doberman Pinscher. His name is Brick, and he's about the biggest baby you'll ever meet. He's obsessed with his stuffed monkey, which we call Monk, and he enjoys trying to sit in your lap, all 105 pounds of him, chasing squirrels and, again, trying to steal stuff off the counter that he shouldn't have. So, my education. I attended elementary school at Grissom Elementary in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At about fourth grade, about 1999, we moved to Katy, Texas, and I finished up fourth grade and all of fifth grade at another elementary called Alexander Elementary. After that, I went to Beck Junior High School, which is directly across the street from my house, so I got to feel cool and walk to school every day. And upon finishing eighth grade, I went again to high school at Cinco Ranch High School. Graduated in 2007 in a class of 1,051 students, so it was pretty big. Again, in 2007, I was accepted to Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas. Woohoo! Go River! And I majored in special education, graduated in December of 2011. So when it comes to my work life, my first job, and this is straight out of high school, my first job was working as a vet tech at an animal hospital. And it sounds like, oh, that's really cool, but all I really was doing was like cleaning out the cages of like dogs and cats that were either at the hospital to get treated or they were staying while their owners were out of town. So it was a pretty messy job, but I love animals, so it was kind of cool to see anything from dogs to rabbits to ducks and everything in between. It was pretty cool. After that, my parents were very, very strict about me having a job in college and said it was an absolute no. So my next job after that was post college graduation, and I went and I worked at Lehman High School in Kyle, Texas. And it's a Title I school, 80% free and reduced lunch. I taught chemistry and world geography my very first year. And then the 2 years after that, I taught ninth and 10th grade English and reading. The age difference between myself at 22 and teaching 17 and 18-year-old students, it created a power struggle that made the job way more difficult than it should have been. So while I love high school, it just wasn't the right fit for me at the time. So after moving back home to Houston, I accepted a position at Holland Middle School in Houston ISD, and I've taught sixth grade English reading ever since. Also a Title I school, 100% free and reduced lunch. It sits in a historically black neighborhood called Pleasantville. It's on the far northeast side of Houston. My first year teaching here, I was actually awarded the Teacher of the Year award for my campus. So that was pretty cool to be successful in a very, very new place my first year. As far as my professional goals, my first goal is to become a curriculum specialist to create usable reformation intervention programs and to provide specialized support for struggling urban school districts and specific campuses. Next, I aim to become a member of the Texas Public School Board and to work as an advocate for underserved populations in our system. And ultimately, and this is pretty far off, my dream is to work for the U.S. Department of Education. Just so I can really shed a lot of light on the differences between urban and suburban schooling so that we can accommodate them to get our kids the best type of education. My multicultural experiences were pretty few and far between before I got to college. I went to all predominantly white schools, really from elementary all the way through college. So once I was in college, I was part of the Black Student Association. I was a member, or I am a member, of a historically black organization, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I did countless hours of community service, serving mainly the Black and Latino communities. In my 5 years of teaching experience, I have exclusively taught at Title I schools with 80 to 100% free and reduced lunch. Uh, Teaching in areas like this has shown me the amount of work urban school teachers have to do both inside and outside of the classroom. I'm not only the deliverer of academic content, but I become a parental support at times. I become a disciplinarian, a counselor, and I mean, at times, a provider for some of my really struggling students. In the future, I planned to go ahead and partner with a missions trip that's called Camp Life, and that's to go and share the gospel and to encourage and teach the children of Zambia in Africa. And so it's very important that we don't forget about this population because over 50% of this country's population are both orphaned or they're under the age of 14. So this is really due to the AIDS epidemic that's wiped out a large percentage of the adults in their country. So you're really left with a whole bunch of adolescents that don't really have much of a guidance in what to do and how to stay safe and how to really, protect themselves from this epidemic if they can. Overall, I'm just a compassionate soul with a heart to really just give to others. My creativity and ability to connect with diverse experiences and populations, I think helps me to be an educator who's willing to go the extra mile, which I think is really a requirement for all urban school teachers. Um, my passion for education has kept me in the field despite huge teacher turnover rates. But I think how my identification with urban culture is what really motivates me to be an advocate for these underserved communities. So I look forward to working with you guys as we move through this program together.